Graham the Cowboy, one of those good news, bad news stories if you're Hillary Clinton. The good news is you're not going to be prosecuted for the email situation. The bad news is everybody knows you lied.
Yeah. And as Bob Kerry said about Bill Clinton one time, he's a very gifted liar. And so I guess it's a family trait, but she might have escaped the legal ramifications, but quite frankly, for the Democrats, that would have been better. Then they could have dumped her and put in a fresh face like Joe Biden, and they probably would have won the election.
Now they're stuck with her. 1,000 cuts, really.
Yeah, now they're stuck with her. I mean, what can they do?
What do you make of the FBI Director James Comey? You had prosecutors, including Rudy Giuliani, who was his boss once upon a time, saying this was a slam dunk indictment. What are you doing?
I think that James Comey, he's like Justice Roberts. They want to be well-liked in Washington. And I know that sounds, well, why would he do that? Well, this wasn't a murder charge. She didn't kill anybody, unless you count Benghazi. So I think he just split the baby. I'm gonna say she's the most horrible person in the world. Everything she did was wrong, but. And this way, he gets to live in Washington. He gets to go to the cocktail parties in Georgetown, and he's not the guy that changed the course of history.
Now, having worked for the Clintons, as you did for a little bit, and having worked in Washington, as you did for quite a bit, do you think there was some sort of either a threat or a carrot offered to Comey?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think he wants anything from them. I think he realizes, though, that his career, has been tarnished, because there's always going to be people who say, you know something, you had her dead to right, and you chickened out. You refused to do your duty, and if you couldn't do your duty, you should have resigned. So, I don't think he was offered anything. I don't know if he'd take anything. Look, he's going to go out of the FBI in a few years. He'll go to a nice big fat law firm, make 7 figures a year, and he'll be very happy sending his kids to Georgetown Prep.
And there's one other theory, at least it's my theory, and I think a few other people share it. He was asked by Congress during his testimony yesterday, what about the Clinton Foundation investigation? And he said, I can't speak about that, which means?
Which means it's still ongoing. And the way he said it, he says, I can't speak to the existence or the non-existence of another investigation.
If it was non-existent, he could speak to it.
He was asked a direct question, is that way? And he didn't say, nope, this closes everything we were looking at and we're done. He didn't say that, which tells me he's looking at it.
Which means this could be big-time trouble for Hillary. Or nothing.
Or nothing. But if nothing else, it's the Clintons have had the sword of Damocles hanging over their heads for many, many years, and that thin thread's starting to wear through a little bit, and maybe eventually it'll break and the sword will hit him in the head. I don't know.
Interesting. There's been a lot of connection between Comey and the Clintons. He was one of the Whitewater prosecutors.
Yeah.
He prosecuted Mark Rich, a millionaire who was pardoned as soon as Bubba left office. So there's a bit of a history there, so it's going to be interesting to follow. Graham the Cowboy back with more coming up.